We are talking education this morning. Dr. Suzanne Lacey, Superintendent of the Talladega County School System, is with us this morning, along with Dr. Brooke Morgan. Good morning to you ladies both.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us this morning. And Dr. Lacey, first of all, you talk about changes in the flow. It's almost every moment with this Delta variant, isn't it?
Yes, Jimmy Dale, we have been in school now. Next week will be our fourth week. So our students came back on August the 11th and had a great start. And quickly we started having more positive cases with COVID-19. We are seeing primarily in our students, but also in our adults too. But just this past week, we implemented our temporary mask mandate. And we're hoping to combat the spread through that. And we will review the data on September the 20th to see how we are faring. But
it's not only affecting our students, our teachers, it affects our bus drivers and all over the support system.
Yes, it does. One issue that we have been working with this week is a lunchroom staff where the majority of the workers in our lunchroom have tested positive for COVID. So that makes a huge difference in the flow of the day because we serve breakfast, we serve lunch, and when you're expected to feed 1,000 kids, that's difficult.
Hungry kids.
Yes, to try to find substitutes and to really cover the needs that we have. Plus, we're having a few issues with supply chain and getting food products and also supplies for our lunchroom.
Wow. Dr. Suzanne Lacey, Superintendent of Talladega County School System this morning. You got a special guest with you today.
I do. I'd like to introduce Dr. Brooke Morgan. She is our Coordinator of Innovative Learning. And Dr. Morgan has done multiple things throughout her career in Talladega County. She's been an elementary principal. She's been our elementary coordinator and federal programs coordinator. So she's right where she needs to be right now with innovative learning because Jimmy Dale, in Talladega County Schools, we are known for innovation, and much of that work is attributed to Dr. Morgan and her leadership. So.
Dr. Morgan, talk a little bit about the technology and stuff that we are implementing now in our county school system.
So we are very fortunate. We have actually had a one-to-one device initiative for over 10 years. And I believe, Dr. Lacey, we were the first of maybe 3 school systems in Alabama to actually make sure that all of our students had a personal device, either an iPad or a Chromebook. And so in addition to that, all of our classrooms are equipped with interactive boards and digital document cameras and really any tool that a teacher would need to provide that innovative instruction.
We've come a long way from number 2 pencil and a piece of paper, haven't we?
Yes, we have. And another great thing that we're excited about is we have had a STEAM initiative in our district for the past 4 years. And so we are making sure that our students are equipped with those problem-solving skills, being able to be persistent to solve problems. We have 10 or 11 of our schools have been STEM certified, which is a huge accomplishment. I think we have more schools than any school system in the state with that recognition. And we have others that are working toward that. So in addition, we just received robotics grants for all of our elementary and middle schools. And so
talk about that a little bit.
So all of our schools in the elementary and middle grades will have access to VEX robotics, and we will have training with Auburn University, 2 days of training coming up in the next month, and hopefully be able to start robotics clubs in all of our schools. So students will be able to collaborate and code robotics and go through obstacle courses and actually compete against one another. So we're really excited about that as well.
Dr. Lacey, the old saying is if you stand still and you're not moving, you get run over. And with technology the way it is today, we got to get moving.
We really do. And our board saw that about 14 years ago. And that was one of my first charges as the superintendent of Talladega County Schools is to really develop a plan for supporting students through technology. And from that point, Jimmy Dale, we have just expanded exponentially over the years to really provide the devices and, most importantly, the expertise among our teachers to utilize that technology in meaningful ways. We know that it's not just about having a device, but it's about what you're going to be doing with that device. And I wish we could take you this morning just as a bird's eye view into some of our classrooms to show you how meaningful technology is used to support learning. Our teachers have really embraced this movement with technology. And of course, when the pandemic hit back in March of 2020, and we had to close schools abruptly, our teachers were well prepared for that, because Dr. Morgan and her team had done so much to already utilize technology for learning purposes. And we felt fortunate, even though that was very difficult, but we've also had to rearrange manpower in our schools to support technology.
There's a lot of great things happening with Talladega County schools in our system, and I just saw recently where, and being a grad of B.B. Comer back
in the day.
Yeah, something like that. Getting a new softball complex for our softball team, that's fantastic.
Yes, we're thrilled about that. And the bid process has been completed. It has been approved. M.J. Brooks here from Sylacauga will be building this softball field for us. So we're
where will it
really
be?
excited. It's just right next to the boys' field in the back. And we're thrilled to begin that work with a local company here in town.
And long-term goal with the Avondale property, that's going to be a big, big plus too.
Yes. In 2017, the board purchased 30 acres of the Avondale property across the street from B.B. Comer High School and Elementary for the purpose of expanding school facilities. So in recent weeks, we were awarded $1.75 million from the governor of Alabama to begin the cleanup process. So we're doing that now, making plans for that. And then, of course, the ultimate goal, working with all of our community partners, is to build the East Alabama Innovation Training Hub, which could be great for workforce development, not only in our county, but across our state.
Dr. Morgan, I know you're excited about all this too.
Absolutely. Just, Dr. Lacey is such a visionary leader. And when we did have to go home with COVID, I saw a lot of colleagues around the state just really struggling. Either they didn't have the devices to provide, students struggled with access at home, and so Dr. Lacey was very supportive of our effort to provide hotspots to students. We were able to provide hotspots to over 400 families during our closure, and also during our blended learning last year, and so we were able to make sure students were able to continue their learning at home.
Dr. Lacey, it is said in a lot of school systems across our nation that due to COVID last year, that started really in March of last year, our students are falling behind. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, and naturally, we are going to experience some learning loss based on our current situation. Last year, we were on a hybrid schedule until March. And what we've been doing these first few weeks of school is assessing our students. Really, this started back in the summer with summer school and summer camps to really see where our students have issues as far as needing more work and understanding, especially in the reading and mathematics areas. So the first few weeks have been doing assessments to find out where students are really excelling and where they need more intervention. And we have a plan for that because we knew that would be a natural occurrence from a really different type of schedule last year.
Now, you guys are plugged in to our State Department of Education, Alabama Department of Education, with the superintendent, and without just saying, what do we anticipate next? Or, this Delta variant is spreading so quickly, and we've had a number of new cases here in Talladega County as well. Are there plans in place if this continues to go the way it's going now?
Jimmy, we have had a plan for a while now, just like all school districts across the state. We called that our reopening plan. And part of that plan addressed academics. Part of that plan addressed technology, just in case we had to change our schedule to go to virtual learning. It also included how we were cleaning our schools, how we were, riding the buses and hoping to utilize social distancing as much as possible. So every avenue of the school day has been addressed in our reopening plan. And honestly, it's a day-by-day calculation and really looking and studying the data, see what's going on throughout the county. We have 17 schools. Some of our schools right now have very little to no cases. We have some, what we call hotspots, where we're seeing many more cases. So one of the issues that we have had in schools where there is a high number of staff cases is finding substitutes.
Yeah.
And just this week, we upped our pay for substitute teachers, hoping to draw more substitutes because we really need these folks to come. It's really fun and a great job to be with kids.
And every system is facing the same thing,
They are.
and they're looking for substitute teachers as well.
Yes, they are. And so we're hoping that's going to combat some of the issues we're having finding subs. But I would just sum that up in saying every day we study the data, we collect the data, and then make decisions based on the data.
What do you say to parents and grandparents that are watching this morning that have students in the Talladega County school system? I guess patience is still a virtue, but we've been at this thing a long time now, well over a year.
Yes, and we are all tired, just like I'm sure they're feeling. And I just want to say to please trust us that we are educators. We love kids.
That's your job. That's your passion.
We've gone to school a long time to be in this career. We have their best interests. We're doing our very best to manage the school day without interruptions and to keep the schools open 5 days per week. And I know there was some eyebrow raising and pits in our belly when we went to the mask requirement. But our families and our students have been just super great with that. Whether you agree with that or not, we are not medical professionals. And
we're educators.
We are educators, and we get guidance from very brilliant medical professionals that have told us from the beginning of the pandemic that masks do help prevent the spread. So we want to keep our schools open so that parents can continue their work schedules without interruption, and so that kids, most importantly, continue their work schedules and the love of being at school without interruptions.
Wow. Dr. Morgan, Dr. Lacey has been on, I don't know, how many years have you been superintendent here?
14.
14, and gets rave reviews from the board. What is it like working with Dr. Lacey?
Well, I consider her my mentor. I've worked with Dr. Lacey for my entire career in some capacity or another, and I can say that she is an exceptional leader and that all the accolades she gets from her board are very well deserved. She works really hard with communicating with her board, I think almost daily, and I don't know that a lot of superintendents do that, but she wants to make sure that they are thoroughly informed of everything going on, and she takes their comments and advice when she's making important decisions, and so it's very well deserved.
Yeah, and we appreciate your work that you do for our Talladega County school system, our children. And, Dr. Lacey, as we leave this morning, we appreciate all of y'all do, what y'all do. And I cannot imagine the immense pressure every day, and not just on our students, but on our educators and those support groups. But we thank you for what you do, and thank y'all for coming by this morning, and happy Labor Day to you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Dr. Suzanne Lacey, Superintendent of Talladega County Board of Education, and Dr. Brooke Morgan, who's over our technology, and technology is so moving forward in Talladega County. If people need more information, where can they go?
Well, they can go to our website. Dr. Morgan actually handles that. There's lots of information there. Email
What's the
us.
website?
tcboe.org.
All right. And hey, they're always accessible. Their doors are not closed. They look forward to serving you, everyone that's involved with the Talladega County school system. Ladies, thank you both for coming today.
Thank you.
More Daybreak right after this.